I guess I'm showing up to work, and this is how I'm acting today. Take it or leave it. Wait for it. Welcome back to H&P. My name is Adam. Today we have yet another movie from Marvel Studios, Captain America: Brave New World. This sucker has taken over 2 years to come out. This has been in production hell for quite some time. Did it pay off? We'll soon find out. Let's get to it first. Here is the IMDb plotline. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, finds himself in the middle of an international incident and must discover the motive behind a nefarious global plan. I think that's the plot for every Captain America movie at this point. So it starts out giving us a kind of previously on Marvel TV and movies, so to speak, which is good because if you haven't been keeping up with Marvel television and stuff, you're probably not going to understand all of this. Not that there's a whole heck of a lot to understand because the depth of this movie, not so much. So initially this movie was going to be called Captain America and the Serpent Society, and the leader of the Serpent Society in this movie is played by Giancarlo Esposito, who you'll know from a jillion things. We all love that guy. He's pretty great. So who is the Serpent Society? What do they do? The fact is we don't know, and frankly, we don't care. When asked about it, Giancarlo Esposito said, "I'm playing a role like I've never played before in this movie." What? What are you talking about? In what way? In what way are you different than almost any other character? Like, the only character you played that's different from this one is in Do the Right Thing. What are you talking about? Was your hair slicked down in this one? Is that what we're supposed to... I don't get it. Isaiah Bradley comes back as the black Captain America that they did testing on and stuff during World War II and everything. You saw a lot of him in the Captain America and Winter Soldier television show, which again was just okay. It was nice having the character back, and frankly, I think you need a character there with some super soldier powers and whatnot within him to feel like there's actually a threat going on, because a lot of this movie, it doesn't feel like there's any kind of threat out there. My problem is when they go to meet Isaiah Bradley at his gym and everything, and it's like, hey, you're gonna go meet the original Captain America or whatever. That is not a gym that is owned by that old man. That old man that just came out of prison doesn't have this fancy neon gym with those little light punchy deals that you see in all the little info ads and whatnot. The design on this was terrible. Isaiah Bradley's like over 100 years old. Why on earth would he have this weird gym? Anthony Mackie is fine in this. We like Anthony Mackie. I think everybody is, pretty on board with that dude. He's a decent actor and whatnot, but ultimately, without having a main character, especially like Captain America, not having any superpowers, it kind of takes away from stuff, You want your superheroes to have some sort of super ability and everything, and if they don't, they better be interesting a la Batman or something like that. Batman's got cool stuff going on. We almost want to make him Iron Man in a weird way. We get a whole bunch of tech and stuff from Wakanda, so his suit's got a whole bunch of things that almost make him like a superhero, but not really. And the funny thing is we're calling him Captain America, but yet he's still keeping the wings and stuff like Falcon, but yet we're calling this other guy Falcon. I don't know. But the main reason that you're going into this movie isn't for the Falcon as Captain America. What you're going to this movie for is Red Hulk. That's right. Thaddeus Ross is back, and unfortunately,
William Hurt
has died, and we have Harrison Ford to jump in the spot here, which is both good and bad. It's good because Harrison Ford is a really good actor and everything. It's bad because when Harrison Ford was called in for reshoots, you can definitely tell when those reshoots are taking place when you watch this movie. There are others that you can kind of tell a little quality difference here and there between what was previously shot and what was reshot over and over and over again, from what I'm to understand. There are scenes, especially at the beginning, and this is what kind of frightened me. You can tell some of the reshoots are at the beginning because Harrison Ford does not look like he wants to be there. He looks so pissed. He looks so annoyed. He is doing a performance that is equal to his voiceover reading in Blade Runner. It is just like, I guess I'm showing up to work, and this is how I'm acting today. Take it or leave it. That's what Harrison Ford is doing here. But later on, there come scenes where Harrison Ford is honest to God acting. But I can only assume that that was their initial shoot and everything, because man, oh man, there are moments in this when Harrison Ford looks like he would rather be any place else than in a Marvel movie. That said, the Hulk looks really, really good. One of the highlights of this is how the Hulk moves, how he is portrayed here and everything. Super cool. It looks like Harrison Ford as the Hulk and everything. They've done a great job kind of mapping him out. I would have loved to see
William Hurt,
the Hulk with a mustache and everything. That would have been amazing. But ultimately, it looks super cool. The fights are interesting and whatnot. But you really don't feel like any of it is going to lead to anything. And this is a slight spoiler, but nothing really. Ultimately, the big main conflict is resolved by talking. In a superhero movie, you talk it out. Punchy, punchy, punchy. No, no, no. We need to talk it out. Ultimately, the fights are pretty bland. Nothing overly cool happens in them. You're like, all right, that's neat, that's interesting. Every now and then, like, you know, Captain America will slice open a wing on a jet plane or something like that with his wing, and that's cool. Some of the SHIELD stuff is a little bit neat. But overall, it's just like, it's nothing that you really haven't seen before, and seen better, to be quite honest. Well, good news, we finally talk about the Celestials that they kind of froze in the world there and everything, and the Eternals and whatnot. We don't do too awful much with it, but ultimately, again, light spoilers here and everything. We discover Animanium, and you know where that's going to end up leading, is we're getting X-Men. You knew that was coming. But I want to talk about actual spoilers here for just a second, because I did not know this going in, and it made me super excited. So give yourself a moment here to hit that pause button wherever you can, because here comes a spoiler. Tim Blake Nelson is in this as the leader. I'm sorry, what? I was so excited when I heard his voice. I was like, you've got to be putting me on. We're taking this thing all the way back from that other Hulk movie and bringing it into this one. Unbelievable. I'm here for it, but unbelievable nevertheless. And Tim Blake Nelson, despite his terrible makeup, despite whatever weird thing they designed for him as a costume, he looks like the Unabomber, he is giving 1,000% in this. He is really acting, except for the one scene that you can clearly tell that they did for the post-credits there and everything. No one else was in the room for him with that one. That was clearly tacked on there and whatnot. But he is the only one in here who really feels like 100% of the time he is actually acting and whatnot. It's a shame that what they've given him to do is pretty garbage. So overall, would I recommend Captain America: Brave New World? Well, unless you're a crazy Marvel fan, no, I can't. And even if you are a crazy Marvel fan, my guess is you probably stopped watching these movies some time ago. It's funny because Quentin Tarantino was talking about, he thinks the last year for cinema was 2019. And when I think about it, I really think he's probably correct in this, in as much as I can even tell you what movie it was that ended it all. And that was Endgame, man. When people walked out of Endgame, I think they were pleased that they, watched it and that everything was finished and whatnot. But I think people were like, I'm done. I'm kind of want to move on from superhero movies. We've done, 10 years worth of films here and everything. Maybe it's time for a break. But Marvel in their magnificent wisdom just goes like, no, you got to keep eating. Keep eating. Come on. It's good for you. Keep on eating. And we're like, we're tired of eating. We don't want to eat anymore. Do I want to eat another Marvel movie? I don't know. I will say this, ultimately, I'm kind of glad HMP Volume 1, where all we did was cover superhero movies, is over, because I don't want to have to come on and just cry about this movie and how it's not really all that good. But at the same time, too, they didn't really want to make this. They wanted to cash in on stuff. They needed to do this. This movie cost $180 some odd million to do because they kept doing it over and over and over again, trying to get it right. And if you've gone back to the well this many times and this is what you give us in return, I don't know if we want that. So while it's not absolutely terrible and everything, I'm going to go give Captain America: Brave New World 2 stars out of 5, because It's fine for what it is, but it is wildly forgettable, and I don't know that anyone's going to go back to this like we go back to Civil War or anything like that. I don't think this movie will have much legs at all after this original screening and everything. But don't worry, guys, it's probably going to be on Disney Plus inside of 6 months, so you don't even have to worry about, not going to the theater to see it. It's going to come to you, and frankly, it's going to feel exactly like all the other Disney Plus stuff that's out there, but this one costs $180 million. Feel good about your decisions yet? So that is it for Brand New World, everybody. Be a dirty baby and leave a comment for your mom below telling me how much you love or hate Captain America Brave New World, and we'll see you next time.